Wow, talk about a game. Anyone who asked for a deep dive on that Dodgers game, you got it. Game 4 of the NLDS against the Padres was something else. I mean, the tension was unreal, right? A must-win after that tough Game 3 loss. Plus, no Freddie Freeman because of that injury.
Yeah, definitely a lot of pressure on them. Facing elimination, that changes the game completely, even for a team like the Dodgers, with all their experience.
And they really showed up, huh? Shutting out the Padres 8-0 to tie up the series. But it wasn't just the score, was it? Felt like the whole thing just shifted momentum-wise.
Totally. It's one thing to win, but to totally dominate like that, especially after what they've been through, I think that sent a message to the Padres. The Dodgers aren't going down without a fight.
So let's break it down a bit, how they pulled it off. Got to start with Ohtani. On paper, 1 for 3 with an RBI doesn't sound crazy.
Yeah.
But he was huge EE this game.
Oh, yeah. Ohtani just being on the field changes the whole feel. And that RBI, classic Ohtani, driving that high fastball the opposite way. But honestly, it's his base running that makes him such a threat, even when he's not getting hits.
You're right. Even when he's not hitting, the Padres have to be aware of him. What is it he does specifically that puts that pressure on the defense?
He's just so smart on the bases, always looking for any little advantage. Like, remember his steal in the third? Forced the Padres to go to that slide step with their delivery, messed up their timing just enough. And that tiny change? That's all a hitter needs sometimes. Ohtani gets that even without a hit. He can shake things up, make the defense uncomfortable, creates opportunities for his team.
Like they say, some of the biggest plays never make it to the box score.
Exactly. And speaking of big plays, how about Mookie Betts? 2 games in a row with a home run. The guy's on fire.
He's been amazing this whole series, and his energy, it's like it rubs off on everyone.
Totally agree. And then there's Will Smith keeping his hot streak going with that clutch 2-run homer. He's the guy you want up to bat when the game's on the line.
Clutch Smith. I like it. But it wasn't just the big hitters, right? That Dodgers pitching, a combined shutout from 5 different pitchers, shows how much depth they have.
Hallmark of a championship team, don't you think? Having that many weapons at your disposal makes them incredibly tough to beat.
No argument there. And how about those late inning plays? Got the crowd really going. Edmonds' squeeze play in the 7th, perfect execution. Then Lux with that 2-run homer to seal the deal. Must have been electric in that stadium.
It's believable energy. And those late runs, that wasn't just patting the lead. That was a statement, Like, we're here. We're not backing down. You're going to have to rip this win from our grasp.
So now it's all down to Game 5, back in L.A. Best of 1, winner takes all. Dodgers definitely have the momentum, but this series has already shown us anything can happen.
This series, huh? Talk about some twists and turns already.
Yeah.
Even with that Game 4 win, Dodgers dominating like that, still anyone's series going into Game 5.
True. Padres have shown they can bounce back. But gotta think, playing at Dodger Stadium, that home crowd, that's got to give the Dodgers some edge, right?
Oh, for sure. Home field advantage is real, especially in a game this intense. But honestly, comes down to who doesn't crack under pressure, who makes the plays when it counts. And that's where experience helps. Dodgers definitely got that going for them.
Experience, yeah. You mentioned before that Dodgers championship history. Have they been in this spot before, down 2-1, needing 2 straight wins to move on, in the NLDS specifically?
Off the top of my head, specific instance, not ringing a bell. But Debity, Dodgers, they kind of thrive under pressure, right? It's weird. It seems like each game, different guy steps up. Betts, Smith, obviously. But others too. Key hits, great defense, total team effort so far.
Absolutely. So this Game 5, everything on the line, what are we watching for? What's going to make the difference, you think?
Padres, they got what CTA? Figure out that Dodgers offense. Betts, Smith, yeah, they're hot. But it's more than that. Whole lineup's contributing. San Diego needs to disrupt that rhythm somehow. Keep the ball down, force weak contact, no more bombs leaking the yard.
Okay, so what about from the Dodgers side? What do they need to do to lock this down, get to the next round?
Honestly, keep doing what they're doing. Pitching's been lights out. Bats come alive when it matters. Aggressive on the base path. They keep that up. Feed off that crowd at Dodger Stadium. They're going to be hard to beat.
Speaking of the crowd, I was watching Game 4, and man, that "Let's go Dodgers" chant late in the game gave me chills even through the TV. You were there. What was that atmosphere like in person?
Electric, truly electric. Wasn't just excitement. You could feel the belief, like this team, these fans, they refuse to let it slip away. Just shows you, playoff baseball, it's more than just skill. It's that heart, that fight, those moments that can swing a whole game's momentum.
Sounds like one of those nights where you could feel it shifting as it went on. Padres had infield that one. Tough loss.
Yeah, no doubt, especially the way the Dodgers took over those late innings. Tough to come back from that kind of momentum. But then again, this series, we've seen how fast things can change. Padres have surprised us before, not counting them out just yet.
That's what we love, right? Unpredictable, back and forth, someone steps up when it matters most.
It's the stage, man. These players, their talent, their composure, everything on the line. And us fans, we get to watch history unfold right before our eyes. This whole series has been like that.
Speaking of history, Dodgers, top of the NL for years now. But going into this winner-go-home Game 5, got to be a ton of pressure. What do you think? How does that impact a team? Good or bad?
Pressure, huh? It's a double-edged sword, you know? Some guys fold, some guys, it brings out their best. Dodgers, they got veterans, guys who've been there, done that. They understand October baseball, how to handle it, but gotta be a weight, Ray. All those expectations, finding that balance, that's the key.
Sounds like this Game 5, it's as much a mental game as anything. Both teams, crazy talented, but that edge, that belief, that might be what decides it.
100%, and that's what makes the series so good. Evenly matched, both sides got their strengths, their stories. Everyone wants that win. Comes down to who executes when it matters, who makes the big play.
You've been breaking this down amazingly, all the strategy, the little things. Before we let you go, any last thoughts, predictions, anything for our listeners getting ready for this Game 5? It's going to be one for the books.
Predictions. Baseball, man, never easy. But Dodgers, if they bring that same energy, that focus from Game 4, tough to beat. Can't discount the Padres, though. They pulled off comebacks before. This ain't over yet.
Love it. Down to the wire. So everyone listening, heading into this final game, think about this. We talked about experience, momentum, all those little things. But sometimes just comes down to who wants it more, who's leaving it all out there. Watch for that fire, that hunger. That might be the difference maker in this one.
Couldn't say it better. This is playoff baseball, folks. Buckle up. Enjoy the ride.
You got me hyped for Game 5 now. Thanks so much for all the insights. Really appreciate it.
My pleasure. Love talking baseball, especially when the stakes are this high.
Absolutely. And to all of you listening, make sure you tune in for this one. You do not want to miss it. Until next time, keep diving deep.